Hello everybody and welcome back. It's been 2 weeks since I unpacked the CNC machine and I wanted to give an update of the progress that I'm making and maybe show off some of my failures because, well, I've had kind of a rocky start with this machine, but we're finally friends. The first question always is it any good? And the answer is yes, it's good, but it does have some shortcomings and it does have a few things where it's not as good. Fortunately, engraving is one of the things that it's really good at, as long as the material, like this PCB material here, is not too hard. Engraving is, of course, when you're trying to do it right, painfully slow. So I haven't been able to do a lot of tests, but the simple tests that I've been doing have been very promising, and reproduction of the things that I've been trying to engrave have been really good. I'm using two types of engravers, either this 60-degree engraver that came with the machine, I think, and I have some 20-degree engravers that are smaller and they protrude deeper into the material, but at the same time they have a smaller line. Milling is, of course, the other discipline where this machine needs to be good, and if you look at this here, it looks really good, and it reproduces very well. But if you go too fast, you get something like this, and these here were supposed to be meant straight lines. And when you go too fast, that's when one of the weaknesses of this machine just steps forward and shows itself, and that is that the machine itself does bend really easy. This is one of the sicknesses that all these machines have, and if you want to have one that is better than the others, pick the smallest machine. It's always that way. The smaller the machine, the less bend you're going to have, because all of the steel rods are going to be shorter, and for that they're stiffer. The materials that I've been working with for engraving were PCB material, plywood, MDF. Where's my MDF piece? I don't know. Different PCB material like this, but I didn't do this on this machine. I tried acrylic. It engraves really great in acrylic, as long as you don't go too fast. I have this PU foam material, and this works really well for engraving and for milling. I've also tried this 3mm plywood, and you have to go really slow, and you have to make sure that the plywood is fixed down really well, and then it works really well. I've also tried 6mm plywood, which also worked great, and I tried some ABS. Where did the ABS go? You're gonna have to take my word for that. This here is the 6mm plywood that I tried, but I can't find the pieces of ABS. So, the next question, of course, is, did anything go really wrong during my testing? And, well, yes. The power brick that came with the machine just died. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think this would always happen, because this thing has been acting up since I plugged in the first time. I don't think this is a symptom of this machine that all of the power bricks are going to die. And I used another one. I had another 20 12 volt and I had a 19 volt power brick, and both of them work extremely well with this machine. So it's unfortunate that the one that came with the machine died, but well, sometimes that happens. Now, what I really liked about this machine is it was relatively quiet as compared to the other one that I have. The chuck does an excellent job. It is pretty much vibration free, and it does a really good job at holding the tool, and the tool is not vibrating either. So all your cuts with a very, very small groove are going to look absolutely great. And I really, really like that. On the other hand, I didn't like that all of the rods and the threaded rod are exposed to everything that comes off the table, so you're going to have to be cleaning a lot, or you have to put a protective cover under here that moves with the platform. Both of that is possible, but it is really, really nice and quiet. Also, I found that the little remote control thing, it's actually not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. What you're actually doing is you're homing your tool, and then when you select something to be engraved, for example, you go into the file section, you select your file, you click go, and it's going to say ready to print, which is of course wrong because it's engraving something, but it just goes ahead and does it. And you can hear right now the machine is not that loud once it's engraving, and I really quite like that. And what about the tools that came with the machine? It does come with these V-groove cutters. These are engravers. They work reasonably well. There's nothing to complain about. And it came with these 1/8 inch flathead mills, and they're okay too, but I think they are a little bit on the large size for this machine. I much more prefer using these 1.5 millimeter flat end mills, and they work really well. I really like them. And of course, if you're trying to mill something small, it works better with these because maybe there are some holes in there that you just can't do with those here. And the same rule applies to this machine as it does for all machines. Make sure that you don't dwell too deep, and also make sure that you're not going too fast. It takes quite some time to get the right profile for this machine. But if you're going slow, if you're going careful, it actually works out pretty well. If you're going too fast, then the tool head is going to start wandering around, and you just won't get any good cuts. Then go back, go slower. Make sure that the cutters and the mills that you're using are top quality, because in the end it's the tool that does the work, and the better the tool, the better your work will be. And apart from that, I don't know, it's still a getting to know each other thing with the mill and me. At the end I was really surprised because it worked out, and well, the start was rather problematic because I was just trying to go too fast, and I was expecting too much of the little machine. So I think going slowly with this thing is the right thing. For software, I'm using Candle on Mac OS 10, and I've started using Carbide Creator, which is a free tool, but it works pretty well when importing DXF files, so I quite like it. And for doing things like engravings and stuff, I have my own software that I'm using for that, and that works pretty well too. For the next few tests, I'm going to remove the motor, and I'm going to try and fit a pen holder and a laser to this, and I want to see how it works together with a laser, because the main board supports lasers, and I do have a few lasers that would probably be really interesting to use with this thing. One of them is an infrared laser, an infrared diode laser. It's, I think, about 1.5 or 2 watts, and we should be able to do a few really fun things with that. And of course, I want to try to do the direct ink to PCB with this machine and see if we can draw PCBs directly with a pen onto PCB material, or if we can use the laser to do some working in paint, where you remove paint with the laser, and you can then etch this. And these things give really good, they have a really good result, and they work really well. So that's what I'm going to go for next. I hope that I can get it done within the next 2 weeks, because I have a lot of work on in my main job, but if I can do it, then you'll see the video. Thank you very much for watching. I know this was just a short update, but I didn't want to leave you hanging. And if you have any questions regarding the machine or what I was able to do or not do, put them in the comments, I'll answer. So thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.